What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 6 incredible Air Force benefits. And by benefits, I of course mean things that you have access to when you join the military and/or specifically the Air Force, and how you should probably try to take advantage of them. But before we get into this magical list of benefits, let's cover some of those basics. My name is Michael Inman and I'm an airman in the United States Air Force. I upload videos most Mondays, so if you like military and/or Air Force content, definitely hit the subscribe button below and make sure you turn the notification bell on so you know when I do upload these brand new videos. So as you might know, or if you don't know, I'm happy to let you know that there are some incredible benefits that come with being an airman of the Air Force. So in this video, we're really going to dig into 6 benefits that you would really want to tap into. So the first on this list, and let's rewind a half second, by dig into, I mean I'm going to let you know about them and tell you things that are top of mind. Probably each of these benefits deserves its own video, but this is not said video, okay? This is a menu, not the main course, okay? This is an actual paper menu I'm giving to you, and I will bake up, cook up, saute up the real meals at a later date. Actually, please just drop down below any of these 6 that you would want a dedicated video on. Without further ado, the first of these 6 incredible benefits that you get when you join the Air Force is, of course, education. And so when you are in the Air Force, which is different than when you retire out of and or just separate from the Air Force, there of course are things like the GI Bill or the post 9/11 GI Bill. But that is not what we're going to be discussing. We are discussing how are you able to take classes while in at a subsidized rate and or for free. That is called tuition assistance. And so in regards to trying to finish your bachelor's and or superseding a bachelor's, you would want to work through your command, aka your supervisor, just so that they have they have to sign approval, fun fact. So they have to give you permission to receive TA to take classes on the side. If not, you're going to be paying out of pocket. Best of luck. But let's assume you are provided approval by your supervisor. You just let them know, hey, I'm doing well with my studies and or on the job, and I would love to use my personal time outside of work to finish my bachelor's or do whatever I want to do. That's when your boss, he or she will probably go, sounds good to me, because that is what? The culture of the Air Force. We love education over here. It's just the way we are. We're like, school? F yeah. So that is the resource you would be tapping into. It's called tuition assistance. And so it's different than the GI and the post 9/11 GI Bill because it's just a set amount of money that recycles every fiscal year. And so as long as you get the minimum grade in the course, which for undergrad I believe is a C, and for grad school I believe is a B, or maybe like a B minus, as long as you get those grades, you do not have to reimburse the money. So that is the first incredible benefit of being in the military. Next, healthcare. Now, of course, I'm not going to get into this because this is a large topic, but what I will say, everyone, is that first and foremost, having health insurance is a beautiful thing. It really is a privilege, and it really is one of the reasons a lot of people join the military. It is that big of a deal to know that you now have health insurance. And so with that, TRICARE really does take care of us, y'all. Like it really does. I mean, don't judge me, I feel some type of way if I have a cut. Like if I have a cut and I don't feel it healing at the right rate, I'm in my head about it. Like I'm a little like, oh my gosh, is it infected? Am I okay? Do I need medicine? Wonder if I should be washing it 3 times a day. How will I know? I want to make the right choice. Oh my gosh. With that in mind, not only do I have health insurance through the military, but also there is a wonderful resource called the Nurse Advice Line. And I just really love it because you have access to the Nurse Advice Line through TRICARE, And if it's the weekend, you can just call this number, or if it's just not normal hours. So if it's like after 5 p.m. Or you can just call it whenever you want. To be honest, they will pick up. Okay, it's 24/7. But let's say it's a weekend. You break your finger. And you're like, I don't really need advice on like, hey, do you think this is something serious? Should I go see someone? Which they're great for. Definitely great for that. But let's say it's more, I have a broken finger, I'm pretty sure. And they're like, can we ask you a few questions? What color is it? Blah, 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 blah. Give me a pain threshold, or give me, where is it at on the pain, scale? All of that jazz. And after those questions, usually the conversation will end with, yeah, I would like you to see someone within the next 24 hours. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. And of course, you were provided a reference number. And then of course, usually if it's the weekend, that means go to urgent care. And so all of this is to say is you really, really, really feel like taken care of, and you just have peace of mind knowing that you have TRICARE health insurance. So if anything goes wrong, you're not going to like be bankrupt because of it. And also there's this incredible resource called the Nurse Advice Line that you can just reach out to an accredited nurse and just ask a few questions, say what's going on, no matter what the issue, and they will, say, hey, you should be good till Monday, check in with the clinic on Monday or Tuesday, and or you need to see someone in the next 8 hours. Maybe now. Go to the hospital now. So just know that's an incredible benefit that you get if you join the Air Force. The next incredible kind of group of benefits that you get if you join the Air Force falls under the category of housing. First and foremost, you do get something called Basic Allowance for Housing, which in the Air Force we call it BAH. No one calls it BA. Don't do that. No BA. No, don't do that. But BAH is just a way of, Big Blue saying, hey, we're aware that there are, rising home costs and apartments are expensive and you don't get paid crazy. So we will provide you a little extra money on top of your normal base pay that is allocated, supposedly, even though it's just put on top of your paycheck. So, use the money how you want, but supposedly it goes toward housing costs. So whether it be for rent or for a mortgage payment, you literally have a bump on your paycheck that is meant to kind of subsidize your living costs as an active duty military member. And then also there are VA loans. Without getting into the nitty gritty of it, just know there are lower interest rate loans available to people who are active duty military members and or veterans, so that if you want to start your home buying journey, guess what? Because you're now an active duty military member and or will be a veteran, you have access to loans that are kind of tailored to you to be more accessible. So whether it be more forgiving, I don't know, I'm not a financial advisor. So none of this is a promise. But supposedly, rumor is that they may be more forgiving to an average or just above average credit score, even though other banks may want, good to excellent credit scores. Additionally, the interest rate hopefully will be slightly below market value. Not a promise, but a rumor. And what I can say is that usually you will not have to pay a down payment. So if a normal person needs to put, let's say, 10% down for a home that's $250,000, aka I hope you have $25,000 ready for if you're trying to buy a home. Our active duty military members, that is not a requirement for them through the VA loan program. Of course, there's much more information. You can Google more. Let's keep moving. The fourth major benefit is called military discounts. And I will be the first to admit that I often don't remember. Yes, I'm aware that I'm in the Air Force, that I'm in the military, but I forget. I don't remember to be like, do you have a military discount, by the way? I'm just trying to buy a smoothie. I'm in, out, time to whip, okay? But if you are someone who is more mindful and attentive to your, employer, then you will be much better at just politely asking if there's any military discounts at the places that you patron, because there are a lot of places who want to give back to people who have chosen to serve in the United States military. And that is an excellent benefit if you take advantage of it. The fifth and second to last benefit of joining the United States Air Force is something that also is not really special to the Air Force. But the fifth thing is early boarding. LOL. So, yes, it seems small. I know it seems small. I know, but the more you do it, the more you're appreciative. Like, it seems small till you start doing it, like start flying more, or like you start traveling a little bit more, and like every time you do it, it starts adding up in aggregate to like, wow, it is nice that I do get to board early because I'm an active duty military personnel. Like, that's a kindness that airlines do, and it's really I really appreciate it, because you start to realize, like, over time, like, you don't tend to just sit in the lobby waiting for boarding group 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 6. That's not too much of your experience. You tend to only wait for the priority boarders, and then maybe a group 1, maybe. But then they will often, most airlines will often invite active duty military members to board the plane. And so in aggregate, you start realizing you're saving a lot of time, and there is a layer of anxiety and or pressure that is removed when you're not waiting as long, and you're not kind of like doing the whole like, when is it my turn, that thing. And again, these are just kindnesses provided from airlines to active duty military members, but it is a benefit that would be bestowed upon you if you do choose to join any of our glorious branches of the U.S. military. And last is a benefit specifically through the Air Force, but I'm assuming other branches have something similar, unsure. But the last benefit of joining the Air Force is that you could separate early if the stars aligned and it's something you're pursuing. And that opportunity is called Palace Chase. Now, I am going to read this specifically so I don't get it too wrong, but the Palace Chase program allows for airmen to switch from active duty Air Force to the reserved Air Force, AKA working once a month and then having a a weekend or a week commitment. Okay, I'm so sorry. I don't really remember the details of Air Force Reserve anymore. Whatever the commitment is for the U.S. Reserves, that's what you would switch to. You do have to be medically qualified. You have to meet fitness standards, meaning if you've been failing your fitness things and then you're trying to leave the Air Force, you will not be getting a Palace Chase program. You'll be probably being kicked out. You have to be eligible for re-enlistment, meaning you've not had any terrible paperwork that has actually made you so you can't even re-enlist, because at that point they're like, you're not leaving on the best of terms, so like, no, sorry. And you have to have a certain amount of your contract completed. And so if you're enlisted, half of your contract needs to be completed. And then if you're an officer, 2/3 of your commitment needs to be completed before you can apply, be accepted, and commence the Palace Chase program. That sums up the 6 really unique, really nice benefits of being in the Air Force. Drop any questions you have down below. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. Also, if you want a little bit more of this space when I post, I am available on Instagram and Twitter at @MichaelAInman_. I will see you next week.